Oh, well, greetings there, fellow repairers of Land Rovers and a great deal many other things. As you can tell, I'm a bit happier today because I finally finished replacing my big end bearing shells and I am very relieved. So let's just have a little look at what's been going on and a bit of an explanation as to possibly what does create issues on this engine. Now, for starters, I'm just going to say that my car has a full Land Rover service history, so there is definitely an issue here that is beyond just sort of regular maintenance. I know the service periods could extend, but when I had a Discovery 3, I must admit I did replace the oil about every 8,000 miles and never had any problems with it. The other thing about a Discovery 3 is it has, I think, 190 horsepower, whereas what they've done is upping the power on the 3 litre up to 290, I think, on my car. So that is a 100 horsepower increase, and of course the torque has gone up. So this engine is under a lot of stress. Plus, at the same time, they changed the oil to the C1 rating and the low SAPs, and it's very, very thin. And even to me, it seems thin after owning my Discovery 3 and putting the 5W30 in it. This oil is definitely thinner and runnier and more watery, which probably explains why you can suck it out very easily when the car's cold using the suction pump. So I'm sure you all know about this, but the design issue with this engine is that the only two cylinders that get a direct feed of oil from the crankshaft as it turns are cylinders 1 and 6. All the others are sharing. So these conrod, connecting rod bearings on these cylinders are all sharing an oil supply. So they're going to get less oil over time, and they're going to probably heat up more, which is what I think is the problem that we seem to be getting here. So looking at bearing wear, we're going from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the lower shells. So these are going to get less damage and impact on them, because what you've got on the top ones is when the piston fires down, these are going to get the majority of the pressure and probably where it drives out the oil, and will create the the wear more issue on the top ones. But the bottom ones, after a while, are going to start to fail as well, because the top ones are going to get weakened. So on cylinder 1, this is probably the one that's worn the best. It's got probably, along with cylinder 6, the most amount of shiny left on the top. But on the bottom, it also doesn't really have any pock marks in the shell there. Number 2 has a small amount of damage on the lower, but more damage on the top. Number 3, similar again, not quite as damaged on the lower. Number 4 definitely got major signs here that this is chipping away and getting in poor condition. Although I would say the shell at the top on number 3 has got quite serious wear looking going on here. Number 4 top shell has got some sort of signs of more serious wear on it as well. Number 5, a small amount again of wear, which again we don't want the chips. These are where the chips are coming from. You can see where the material's detaching, or probably the current material. And again the top shell. And number 6, and really again the shells on 1 and 6 at the bottom are not as bad, and the top ones also don't seem quite so starved of oil as the other ones. So that seems to be a major contributing factor. So they've all been replaced. So ultimately this sharing of oil between, I don't know if I've got these around the right way, but between these pairs of cylinders is just going to mean that when you're probably idling under, probably it's better when you're under load, but when you're idling, these are just going to have a lower oil pressure running on them. And so it makes sense that these are going to degrade far quicker. From my perspective, the main bearings, I'm not going to touch them. They're probably okay just because they get the main oil feed. Can't guarantee that. Yes, I might be a muppet, but this is actually as far as I'm going on with this repair. I'm just going to do these comrod ones because they are obviously, becoming chipped. And the other thing as well is that on the upper ones, you can see on the sides, they are showing signs of getting quite hot. And that is where I think you end up with your spun bearing, because they get really, really hot. and then probably just disintegrate a bit more quickly. And that's what I'm trying to mitigate here. So because the engine was running fine, it wasn't knocking, wasn't making any ludicrous sounds, watched some other channels, the information that they've had, and even with a spun conrod that the main bearings were okay, I'm going to take a gamble and I'm not going to touch the mains because I don't think I'll be able to do them properly under the car and apply enough torque and get to them very effectively. I know other people have probably done it, it's just I am not physically capable, I don't think, of torquing them up from underneath the car at the moment. So what I'm replacing them with, I'm lucky that everything's within a good spec. So these are just standard size King bearings. I did plastic gauge on all of them, and they are all well below the maximum and minimum. A lot of them are around 0.63, which is kind of in the middle. One of them was a little bit tighter, but only one of them. All the shells have actually got a color code on them, so I need to find out what this means. So these are all yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4. So cylinder 5 has got I think that's green, and then the other one's yellow. So they're all, you know, kind of the similar size, which makes sense with the readings that I got across all of them, except for the outlying one that was just slightly different. So I'm really pleased with the results. Everything's tight. I put the bearings in. As far as I can tell, they aligned nicely. They've got some assembly lube on them, so I'm going to start reassembling my engine, and hopefully, fingers crossed, when I turn it on, it won't blow up. So that's where I'm at now. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and share and comment, and I will see you very soon.